Hey everyone, welcome back for another deep dive. Today we're going to be cracking open a book that I'm sure a lot of you have on your shelves. Maybe it's a little dusty, maybe a little dog-eared. It's Meditations by Marcus Aurelius.
A classic.
Yeah, and it's one of those that always seems relevant no matter what's going on in the world. So we thought we'd dive into book 4, sections 22 through 27, and see what kind of timeless wisdom we can unearth about, well, this whole life thing, right?
And who better to guide us than a Roman emperor? I mean, talk about a stressful job conquering ruling house. I bet those gladiatorial matches got pretty loud too. Yet, he still found time to reflect on some pretty profound stuff.
Right, like, okay, gotta write in my philosophical journal, then deal with a rebellion in Gaul, just another Tuesday. But in all seriousness, Aurelius doesn't waste any time in section 22. He jumps right in with this intriguing question. Is the world around us a beautifully ordered cosmos? Or just chaos with a capital C?
And that word kismos, it's key here.
Yeah, it's not just about the physical universe, right?
Exactly. For the Stoics, kismos implied an underlying order, a kind of beautiful interconnectedness to everything. Imagine, like a tapestry from afar, it's this stunning image, but up close you see the individual threads, the knots, even the imperfections. But they all work together to create something greater than the sum of their parts.
So even if things seem messy, even chaotic at times, there's a bigger picture, a hidden beauty we might be missing.
Absolutely. And here's where Aurelius gets really clever. He kind of nudges us and says, look, you see complexity and wonder in yourself, your thoughts, your emotions, the way your body works. So why wouldn't the universe, in all its vastness, have its own inherent order and beauty, even amidst the chaos? Don't sell the universe short.
I like that. Don't sell the universe short. Okay, so that's actually a pretty encouraging way to look at things. But then in section 23, Aurelius throws us a bit of a curveball. He starts listing off these, shall we say, less than desirable character traits. Black or malign disposition, sheepish disposition. It's like a laundry list of human flaws. What's he doing there? Is he writing a diss track about the universe now?
Not quite. Remember, the Stoics were all about focusing on what you can control and judging others. Total waste of energy. Aurelius lists those flaws not to criticize, but to remind us they're just part of the human experience. We all have our quirks, our shadows.
So instead of getting bent out of shape when we encounter these delights of human nature,
we should accept them as part of the chaotic, but still somehow beautiful kismos. Aurelius asks, if he be a stranger in the world that knows not the things that are in it, why not be a stranger as well that wonders at the things that are done in it? Basically, why be surprised by human nature, even at its worst?
It's a good point. The less we expect everyone to be perfect, the less disappointed we'll be, right?
Mm-hmm.
So are we already sensing a theme here? Acceptance, acceptance, acceptance.
Absolutely. And this idea of acceptance, it's not passive. It's about understanding and aligning ourselves with the natural order of things, even the messy parts. But Aurelius takes this even further, which leads us to his rather vivid metaphors of a fugitive, blind, and poor way of living.
All right, so we're back, and Aurelius is really leaning into the metaphors here. He's talking about living as a fugitive, blind, and poor person. And before anyone panics, he doesn't mean that literally, right?
Right, he's not talking about actual homelessness or anything like that. He's really getting at our relationship with reason, with that kismos, that underlying order we talked about.
Okay, so how does that tie into being a fugitive?
Well, the Stoics believed that true freedom came from aligning yourself with nature, with that natural flow. But when we're chasing after external things for happiness, the fancy car, the Instagram followers, that promotion at work that we probably don't even really want.
Oof, yeah, I felt that.
Right. We become slaves to those desires. We become fugitives, running from our own reason.
And blind.
Blind to the true nature of things, yeah. Because we're so fixated on these external things, we miss the simple beauty, the contentment that comes from within.
And I'm guessing poor, because those external things can never truly fulfill us.
Exactly. We're always dependent on something outside ourselves for happiness, so we're always going to be left wanting more, like we're on this endless treadmill, chasing after something that keeps moving further away.
Okay, I'm starting to see where he's going with this, but then he takes it up a notch with that whole aposteme of the world image.
Right. That one's a bit more graphic.
Yeah, aposteme. Not exactly a word you hear every day. What's he getting at there?
Yeah. So an aposteme is basically an abscess, something that disrupts the body's natural harmony. And Aurelius is saying that when we're constantly resisting reality, getting all worked up about things we can't control, it's like we're creating our own mental and emotional abscesses. We're living in conflict with the natural order, and that just leads to suffering.
So what's the alternative? Just like surrender to whatever life throws at us. Become a doormat for the universe.
No, not at all. Stoicism isn't about becoming passive. It's about choosing our battles. Focus on what we can control, our thoughts, our actions, our responses to the world, and finding a sense of peace in the grand scheme of things.
Finding joy in the journey, as they say.
That's the idea. Aurelius would want us to find contentment in our place in the universe, in doing our best with what we've been given.
So we're back with Marcus Aurelius, our emperor philosopher extraordinaire, and he's been walking us through this whole idea of aligning ourselves with nature, finding contentment and all that good stuff.
Finding freedom and acceptance.
Exactly. But then he kind of shifts gears in section 27 and he starts talking about emperors, Vespasian and Trajan, these big figures from Roman history. And I got to admit, my first thought was like, okay, Aurelius, is this really relevant, or are you just flexing your history muscles a little?
Well, I think it's safe to say Aurelius wasn't one to drop names just for fun.
Right. There's always a deeper meaning.
Always. He's actually making a really subtle but important point about time and legacy and how everything is ultimately fleeting.
Fleeting.
Yeah, think about it. No matter what era you're in, whether it's ancient Rome or, us today scrolling through TikToks, people have always worried about the same things: love, loss, ambition, what to have for dinner, It's like the ultimate human experience.
So he's saying even emperors, with all their power and prestige, still dealt with the same anxieties and uncertainties as the rest of us.
Exactly. And here's the kicker. Aurelius reminds us that even those who achieved what seemed like the absolute pinnacle of success, their accomplishments eventually fade. Their names might be in history books, but their worries, their triumphs, they become like whispers in this grand symphony of time.
It's a humbling thought.
It is humbling. And kind of freeing in a way, don't you think? If even emperors are just a blip on the cosmic radar, it kind of takes the pressure off, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does in a way.
Yeah.
Maybe we don't need to take ourselves quite so seriously all the time.
Exactly. And I think that's what Aurelius wants us to see. He wants us to ask ourselves, what are we giving our energy to? What are we clinging to? Because if everything is ultimately temporary, then shouldn't we focus on what truly matters? Cultivating our character, nurturing our relationships, aligning ourselves with that beautiful, messy cosmos that connects us all.
Living a life of virtue, not just for ourselves, but for the universe, right?
Exactly. And finding peace and maybe even a little joy in the process. So, as we wrap up our deep dive today, I think that's a pretty good takeaway, right?
Absolutely. Acceptance, aligning ourselves with nature, focusing on what we can control. These aren't just lofty philosophical ideas. They're practical tools for navigating this whole human experience and finding a bit of peace along the way.
And maybe that's the true legacy we should all aspire to.
Well said. So until next time, everyone, keep seeking knowledge, keep asking those big questions.
Quietly remain composed, letting thoughts marinate like a rock in the storm. I stand unshakable, no matter what's thrown my way. I'll always remain unbreakable. Gotta keep my head high, staying in control. Stoicism the way I'm keeping peace within my soul, embracing the struggle, finding strength in adversity, determined to rise. Ain't nothing stopping me. I'm a true soldier, never backing down, Resilience in my bones, I wear the Stoic crown. Silent strength is my weapon, no need to make a sound. Unrivaled in my persistence, I'll always hold my ground, I wake up in the morning, feel the sun on my face. Grateful for life, it's a precious embrace. Marcus said, think of the privilege to be alive. Breathe it in, let the gratitude thrive. Power over my mind, not the outside scene. In the chaos of life, find the strength within. Stoic wisdom in my thoughts, like a guiding light. Running with the stars, in the cosmic flight. I'm a true soldier, never backing down. Resilience in my bones, I wear the Stoic crown. Strength is my weapon, no need to make a sound. Unrivaled in my persistence, I'll always hold my ground. Marcus said, everything we hear is opinion, not a fact, it's a perspective dominion. Waste no time arguing about what's good and right. Be the change, be the beacon, shine the light. Anger's consequences, more grievous than the cause. Pet's revenge, rise above, break unjust laws. Being like those who bring the pain. stoic soul, immune to the toxic rain. I'm a true soldier, never backing down. Resilience in my bones, I wear the stoic crown. Strength is my weapon, no need to make a sound. Unrivaled in my persistence, I'll always hold my ground. Accept the faith that binds love with all your heart. In the journey of life, play a part. Soul dyed with the color of thoughts profound. Marcus Aurelius wisdom echoing the sound. Opinions ain't facts, perspective ain't truth. Stoic virtue unshakable from the roots. Yeah, be a good man, no need to debate. Actions speak louder, let your character translate. Faith brings us together, love with full measure. In the symphony of life, find your own treasure. Marcus said, the soul becomes what it thinks. Stoic rap carving out mental links. Marcus Aurelius dropping truth in the booth. Stoic rap spreading wisdom, that's the truth. Yeah, in the echoes of ancient philosophy, I find my strength, my own autonomy. Dwell on the beauty, watch the stars align. Stoic mindset washing away the grind. Yeah, happiness depends on the thoughts we mold. In the tapestry of life, let the story be bold. I'm a true soldier, never backing down. Resilience in my bones, I wear the stoic crown. Silent strength is my weapon, no need to make a sound. Unrivaled in my persistence, I'll always hold my ground.
Get up! It's time to get to work and show them all.
Every time you fail, you have to understand deep down that you're getting trained, you're getting better, you're getting stronger, you're getting more resilient.
You become tough because like you persevere and you continue to do something, or you just really want something fucking bad. Cause like, you know, everybody fails. Like every fucking champion, every like great fighter, whatever, like they all have failures. It's just, you know, some of them choose to use that as like drive to like, you know, continue to fucking train, you know, at fucking 11 o'clock at night when everybody else is, you know, watching TV. And, you know, some of them just kind of like chalk it up. It's like, okay, well, I'm just not tough enough and quit, you know? So it's like, you can go one of two directions, but I think your adversities are what give you that fuel to, you know, become confident or become, you know, successful, whatever the fuck it is that you want to go after.
Focus on intention. Ignore distraction. Use your mind differently. Look for, so if you're going to stop doing what poor people do, stop looking at the obstacle in every opportunity. And instead, do what rich people do. What do? We look for the opportunity in every obstacle. Because an obstacle by its very nature creates an opportunity. Why? Because the law of polarity is a law that governs, that's part of God's automation. So if there's something negative, there has to be something positive. Like that's the other side of the coin. There's no wet without dry, there's no hot without cold, there's no up without down. There's no potential for gain if there's no potential for loss. There's no opportunity if there is no obstacle.
What we do now echoes in eternity. No man was ever wise by chance.
By three methods we may learn wisdom. First, by reflection, which is noblest. Second, by imitation, which is easiest. And third, by experience, which is the bitterest. Confucius.
The person attempting to travel two roads at once will get nowhere. Never awaken a woman's love with no intention of loving her.
You are awesome just the way you are, Nick Vujicic.
Best in the world right now. I said, what? He said, you the best in the world right now. There's nobody as good as you in the world. You're the best right now. The only reason you're not the best right now is because you don't believe you're the best now. And when you walk out this room, I want you to go in the mirror and tell yourself, I'm the best right now. He said, before you even become number one, start to proclaim it and say it long before it happens. Say, I'm the number one motivational speaker in the world. And when I was number 20, I started saying, I'm the number one motivational speaker in the world. And I went to the computer, and the world said exactly what I said, that Eric Thomas is number one in the world. I spoke it, the world heard it, and it activated. Your problem is that you don't believe you belong here. Your problem is that you don't think you should be sitting down here. So listen to me, there are those of you saying, I want to be a millionaire, I want to be the best at this company, right? But your value system says you believe in sleep more than you believe in grinding. That you're spending more money than you're making. Why? Because you're a consumer, but you're reading all the books and you're saying everything the books are saying, but those books are not in alignment with your value. And if you're going to go to the next level, your values are going to have to change. When I believed that my voice was needed in this world, when I believed that I needed to be on the stage, not for myself, but to speak to a group of people who come from where I come from, a working class, who don't know what it's like to make millions and millions of dollars, who don't understand what wealth looks like, that I needed to come in the room with a single parent mother, with a father not in my life, being homeless and a high school dropout. Only somebody who comes from where you come from can tell you you belong. And I had to get my butt on stage because there's some folks that Les Brown can't reach. There's some folks that Tony Robbins can't reach.
Alexander of Macedon, and he that dressed his mules, when once dead, both came to one. For either they were both resumed into those original rational essences from whence all things in the world are propagated, or both after one fashion were scattered into atoms.
Be at war with your vices, at peace with your neighbors, and let every new year find you a better man. Nothing is worth more than this day. Do what you can with what you have, where you are. Theodore Roosevelt. Surround yourself with people who talk about visions and ideas, not people. When you realize there is nothing lacking, the whole world belongs to you.
Be a lifelong student. The more you learn, the more you earn, and the more self-confidence you will have. Brian Tracy.
You got a sheet of paper, right? Put the paper up on the wall. I want you to write it. Why? Because when you write it down and your eyes see it, you can do it. Listen to me. I believe this with all my heart. I literally flew from Detroit to Kansas today. I flew, guys. Watch this. 200 years ago, people said only birds could what? Come on, I'm just being real. 200 years ago, they said only birds could fly. No, a human wasn't meant to fly. Now, not only are we flying, we watching TV. We watching TV in first class. They making meals, right? In some planes you could lay down. I went to Dubai a few months ago, and the seat that I sat in, it was like a living room, a big old 30-something inch TV. They're bringing people steak and duck and all wine and all kind of sweets and snacks, everything. You could use your cell phone. Imagine that. They said we couldn't fly. Now we texting while we flying. So no dream is too big? Come on, no dream is too big? Come on, no dream is too big. I can do it. I can have it. Come on, I can do it. I can have it. I can be it. It's only one person that's going to stop you, and that's you. I need you to understand that. It's only one person that's going to stop you. All right. So what I said to the young man was, your dreams are not too big, but you got to make different decisions. Does that make sense? So I want to show y'all something real quick. Can I see the book? I want to show y'all something. I know you guys at some point you're going to get the book, all right? At some point you're going to get the book, all right? The UOU book, right? At some point you're going to get it, all right? CJ and I said 2 years ago, please write this down. This is not even a part of my message, but write this down. Never let a good crisis go to waste. Write that down. Never let a good crisis go to waste. And so
If the things that produce the pleasures of profligate men really freed them from fears of the mind concerning celestial and atmospheric phenomena, the fear of death and the fear of pain, if further they taught them to limit their desires, we should never have any fault to find with such persons, for they would then be filled with pleasures from every source, and would never have pain of body or mind, which is what is bad.
Live your life as an exclamation rather than an explanation. The person who doesn't make mistakes doesn't make anything at all. The mind is everything. What you think you become. Buddha. A penny saved is a penny earned. When you stop chasing the wrong things, the right ones catch up.
Because you are alive, everything is possible. Thich Nhat Hanh